Hi, it's Kathleen from Bailey Academy, Canadian mom of 5, homeschooling 3 of them, ages 8, 11, and 15. I wanted to share today my curriculum picks, sort of. Some of them I'm making up my own, for my rising 10th grader. So, she has 2 semesters, and in each semester she's taking 5-ish classes. Okay, so starting with my list here. Alright, so this is not in order of what she's taking them in. So, for English, I am making up my own curriculum, but I am using a resource. I should mention first that I got some of these resources in exchange for a review on my blog and social media, and mentioned in YouTube videos. In some cases I just chose to mention them because I like them. So this particular book I got for review. It's called Artfulness: Formula-Free Creative Writing Explorations for Secondary ELA Classes by Andrea Yarbo, a Writing Wednesday book. So this is made for in-person schooling, high schooling specifically. But I am a book reviewer. I have a book blog too, so she wanted me to review this, and I was like, maybe I can use it for my 10th grader. And sure enough, I found a way that I can use it. So although it's not technically made for homeschooling, and the activities are designed for a group of children, if you're good at taking something and changing it a little bit for your, situation, and or you have lots of high schoolers, you can definitely use this. So what it is in her classes, every Wednesday they would do Writing Wednesday. And so there's different activities. So for example, in Chapter 3, the first one is keeping time. Now, there's lots of activities. You don't have to do all of them. So if there's one that you don't like, or you've already done something similar, or you just can't figure out how to do it with just 1 or 2 children, you can skip it. So it tells you prep time. It gives you a description. Tells you the objective and materials that you would need, the rationale for the activity, the anticipatory activity, so what you're going to do at the beginning or before it, the actual activity, brainstorming, drafting, writing team share and reflection, and differentiate. So that means if you have children who need a little more support, this is what you're going to do to make it a little less challenging. If you have children who need a challenge, this is what you're going to do to make it more challenging. So I really like that. Suggested unit integration, so how you can integrate it into the rest of your things that you're teaching. And extension activities if you want to make it longer. And it has that for each of the activities. So I've decided, sorry, something in my throat. Where's my other paper? I have decided, and I mentioned in another video, I will link both of my planning videos in the comments. But for English, where's my English notes? Okay, so on Monday we're going to do Grammar Monday. Tuesday we're going to do Vocab Tuesday. Sorry, my notes are kind of sideways. On Wednesday we're going to do Writing Wednesday, Literature Thursday, and Narration or Oral Friday. So although she's going to read her literature every day, Literature Thursday means we'll just do more of it. So we're going to do our Writing Wednesday on Wednesday. Everything else, the grammar, the vocab, whatever like that, I'm still looking for possible resources, but if I don't find anything that isn't within my budget, then I will just use free resources online. Teachers Pay Teachers. Twinkle has free resources and lots of non-free resources, but I managed to get a free month, so I downloaded a bunch of things that I thought I could use. It definitely seems worth it if you want to buy the subscription. So yeah, that's the plan for that. And then she's going to be reading 20 minutes or a chapter or so every day, and I'm going to see if I can find questions. So this is what we're going to be studying. So one of my favorites from high school was Brave New World. So, and I even have 2 copies of this, so I can reread it with her if I want to, so that I can help her. This one has, I believe, a discussion guide and interviews and all kinds of stuff in it. This is my personal copy, but I have another copy as well, like I said. So we're going to do that in September. In October, we're going to do Girl with a Pearl Earring, and we might add extra books if she reads them faster than I think. So if the girl looks familiar there, that's because she's Scarlett Johansson when she was younger in the movie adaptation of this book. This is just a free book that I found, but it sounded interesting. So since you probably never heard of it, history and fiction merge seamlessly in Tracy Chevalier's luminous novel about artistic vision and sensual awakening. Through the eyes of a 16-year-old Greek, the world of 1660s Holland comes dazzlingly alive in this richly imagined portrait of the young woman who inspired one of Vermeer's most celebrated paintings. So since she's going to be taking art too, I figured that would be good. And it does say sensual, but I'm not worried about it if it has a little bit of kissing or something, or even more in it. I'm not worried about it with her. In November, we're going to do Shakespeare, and although this is not one that's studied very often, this is my favorite, Taming of the Shrew. So I bought this Folger Shakespeare Library book. It has hold on, I need room for my stuff. There we go. It has the words on one side and notes about it on the other. And it also has scene-by-scene plot summaries, a key to the play's famous lines and phrases, an introduction to reading Shakespeare's language, an essay by a leading Shakespeare scholar, fresh images from the vast holdings of rare books, and an up-to-date and an annotated guide to further reading. And it says lessons plans for this play are available at the website. To receive a curriculum guide for this play, you can email them, so I will be doing that too. And then December, I don't have it with me, but we're going to study A Christmas Carol. I've had that book for years. It's tucked away in my Christmas stuff, and I read it every year, even though I'm not really a fiction reader. I pretty much only read nonfiction, except for when I read to the kids. But I read that every year. And so I figured she should study it. She's never read it. And then in January, we'll have less of a time because we don't do, obviously, like exams or anything, but what we do, she likes to do end-of-the-year projects. So we're just going to study nonfiction articles for January. Okay, back to my other note. Sorry. Okay, that's English. For math, she's doing Algebra 2 with teaching textbooks. Now, we've never used teaching textbooks, and I did get it for review. So I will be doing a video review as well as a blog post review of it after we've used it for a while. So she starts that in September. I did not promise them a video review, but I figured you might want to know more about it. So it's pretty common now if you're watching homeschoolers. But I've not seen a lot of people talk about the high school level, so we'll see how that works. For chemistry, I was able to find a free chemistry textbook that somebody was giving away. It looks pretty boring, but this is the Timberlake General Organic and Biological Chemistry. So she does like to read and work and do workbooks and textbooks, so we'll see if she can follow it. If it's boring, we'll supplement it as needed with online free resources. And Creation Crate. Creation Crate is a website and a company that sells experiments and... Sorry, my cat's getting the garbage. Psst, stop it. Anyways, they sell 2 different versions of technology, or is that the right word? I think so. And sorry, I should have written this down. Engineering and chemistry. So what happens is it's a subscription. So you can pay per month and get 2, I think it's 4, I don't know. There's different scenarios. You can pay per month and get a couple of things a week or month. Or you can pay all at once and get 20, my brain doesn't want to work today, science experiments sent to you, along with a starter kit. So I didn't pay for it, but that's what we did, was we got that. Although I just realized that I only have 10 science experiments, so I'm thinking another shipment is coming. So what happens is, the chemistry kit is designed for ages 10 and up, but it's perfectly fine for teenagers. It's not like, made for 10 to 12 or anything like that. So they send you this starter kit. So this is the logo, Creation Crate. This is my starter kit. Well, her starter kit. And it has a bunch of different stuff in it. I'm going to do a full review after we've used it a bit. But it mentions here it has a manual, a plastic tray, a plastic beaker, a glass flask, 20 disposable cups, a rubber stopper, a funnel, 2 sets of safety glasses and 2 pouches for those safety glasses, a smartphone clip-on macro lens, and a smartphone tablet stand, which I thought was really cool. So Just give you a little view into it. Just don't want to drop any of the glass things. Here's the tray and the instruction manual, which has like basic starter stuff. Little cups, beaker, funnel, safety glasses, and other small things. I'm not sure exactly which one's which. So that has no chemicals in it, but it's everything that you need. The little handbook is just a thin little thing, but it has important chemistry best practices, like where your workplace should be, what instructions are, how to be careful with chemicals, safety requirements, first aid measures, what to do if you touch or swallow or get it in your eye, where your poison consent control center numbers and your 911 numbers or local emergency numbers are, information for parents using the safety glasses, and frequently asked questions. It says you have enough materials to complete each experiment at least twice, so that's kind of cool. And you're supposed to have parental supervision, so that's why there's 2 sets of gloves and 2 sets of glasses and stuff like that. And the back has the, I don't know if you can see, the, this means fire, this means flammable and poisonous and stuff like that. So that's something important to learn before you start chemistry. And then for each experiment, you have a little box. I love that it comes, and it even says lesson 1 on the back, so you know which order you're supposed to do them in. And lesson 1 has little instructions. You can go to their online classroom, sign in, you watch a video to access the course that shows you what to do, and then everything is in it. So they got gloves, little, looks like what happens in a tea light afterwards, chemicals, this interesting looking thing, and a little scooper and some stir sticks, and looks like you got a Creation Crate sticker and something else, whatever this is. So everything you need is either in the starter kit or in this box, and you go to the video to watch it. So we will be doing chemistry, second semester. So the video that shows everything more about how it works and what we think about it won't happen until late winter, early spring. But I wanted to show you. Sorry, just trying to get. This one's lesson 3. Of course, I grabbed the wrong order. Same thing. This one has little test tubes and even a test tube holder. I love that we can save some of these things, like not the chemicals necessarily, but some of the other things afterwards. And this is stuff that I wouldn't be able to easily come by. I don't know where to buy chemicals. I don't need like large amounts of them. This just gives me a little amount, just enough that we need to do the experiment. Now, it's not cheap, but if you have the money, then I recommend it so far, even without even trying it, just because making your chemistry course a lab is tricky. Okay, moving on. Okay, so did science. Astronomy. Okay, so I found, I can't buy whole curriculums, that's not in our budget, so I found this Astronomy, a self-teaching guide. There, so you can write it down if you need to. And this is designed for adults or teenagers and is great. It says, for a generation, Astronomy, a self-teaching guide, has introduced hundreds of thousands of people worldwide to the night sky. Now, this classic beginner's guide has been completely revised to bring it up to date with the latest discoveries. As of whenever it was written, anyway. So that would be 2015. So it obviously doesn't have the very, very most recent, but we'll talk about that in a second. A unique, successful self-teaching format makes it easy for you to quickly grasp basic principles and keep up with the contemporary discoveries. You can use this user-friendly book alone or with a textbook, modules, internet-based or distance learning course, computer software, telescope manual, or as a handy reference. Includes website addresses for the best color images and astronomy resources online, technical ideas made simple without math, a beautiful new full-color glossy insert with spectacular images, An interactive format with learning goals, reviews, self-tests, and answers for fast learning, and 5 beginner star and moon maps for fun stargazing. So I'll give you a little walkthrough here. For example, okay, so that's just the introduction. Where's the, there it is. Okay, so chapter 1, Understanding the Starry Sky. So it has objectives right there. You can see most of it's in black and white. Stargazer's view, so it has some information followed by a blank for you to fill in a question's answer. Diagrams, more information, constellations, and more spots to write your answers in. And then, as they said, there's self-tests. So she's just going to do, I haven't figured out exactly yet, but there's like, say, well, chapter 1 has like 1.2, 1.2, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, etc. So I'm going to figure out exactly which days she's going to be working in this. Some days she's going to be, should have had all my notes ready, sorry. Astronomy. Okay, so she's going to read 20 minutes from any space astronomy book that we get from the library every day. Read her chapter section that I wrote down and answer the questions. Look up anything she's confused by. And we're also going to use Crash Course Astronomy, which has 46 videos, so we're going to do 2 to 3 a week. So I wrote down exactly, how many chapters there is, how many pages there is, so how many weeks it's going to take. The chapters that have more pages are going to take more weeks. So, for example, chapter 1 she's going to do through weeks 1 and 2. So I'll figure out exactly 26 pages, how many pages she's going to do a day, how many sections. I'm going to figure all that out. But yeah, she's going to do that, Crash Course. And of course, any night that we can, we'll go out and look at stars. Kind of hard to see in the city, but we'll do our best. So, yes, that's what we're using for astronomy. For French, I already had the Spanish version of this book, so I asked her if she wanted the French book, and we're going to try it. Easy French, step by step. This is beginner level French, which she knows most of because she's done it through grade school and high school, but not... They seem to teach the same thing every year, so there's a lot of gaps she has in her thing. So she's got this, which comes with a free practice app. Shows on the back, free practice app. Learn French in 16 quick and easy steps. Achieve grammar mastery with 200 exercises and readings. Gain confidence in your conversation skills, even if you're an absolute beginner. So the way it works, and if anybody wants a actual, flip through, let me know. Here's the ordinal numbers. Okay, so it's hard to get close and see at the same time. So it tells you what to do, and it has places for you to write in it. Now, it's tempting to have her write this in a notebook so that I can use this for future children. I haven't decided that yet. But it includes... Oh my god. The basic stuff like nouns, articles, descriptive, how you make things plural, how you make things masculine and feminine. The verbs être and avoir, days of the month, present tense, ER verbs, numbers, dates and times, present IR verbs, regular RE verbs and ER verbs, expressing the future with LA and faire. Affirmative versus negatives, reflexive pronouns, passé composé, imparfait, future tense, and subjunctive. So it definitely gets to the part that she never got. So we're going to use mostly this. And some Duolingo thrown in there as well, which she's been using for years. So not a problem there. Okay, history as homemade. I mentioned in my second semester planning video, which is both will be linked below. The plan I have for that, but part of it is to read To Kill a Mockingbird when we're learning about the 30s, Catcher in the Rye when we're learning about the 50s. This is the way it looked when I got it for free. Where is it? I got myself all confused here. At Risk when we're learning about the 80s. This has to do with the early AIDS era. And I just realized that I don't think I said The Great Gatsby in my other video, but I have this from learning about I think it's the 20s. I think. So we have that too. And we're going to be using documentaries and videos and resources. I got a little bit of some pages of her free textbook. I've got notes from her sister who actually goes to high school from when she took history last year. So I got a bunch of things to mix that up with. All right, Latin. She wanted to take Latin. And I contacted a company, a small company, who sent me Getting Started with Latin. And if she wants to continue with it next year, keep going with Latin. And I've looked this over really well because we've had it for a month or two, and I'm loving it. And I recommend it even without her actually using it yet. It had MP3 files from their website, so you can actually hear the words. And it's so easy to get started. Like, the first few days will probably even do more than one page because the first few lessons are super, super easy. They build on each other. So that's lesson 1. So lesson 1, it tells you a new word, nauta. Nauta, meaning sailor. It gives you a pronunciation tip to teach you how to say it. And you can also go to the MP3 to listen how it's said. And that's it for lesson 1. In lesson 2, you learn that there's no the in Latin. So nauta could mean sailor, a sailor, or the sailor. You need to learn when you translate it. That's it for lesson 2. Lesson 3, that will get a lot harder. Lesson 3, the new word is sum, meaning I am. And it says here in English it takes 2 words to say I am. In Latin it takes only 1. So sum means I am. So it says exercises. 1, translate. Sum and sum nota. So you're building on what you already learned. And there's answers included. So if you go further in, you can see that the lessons are a little bit longer and have more, you see, more questions. So now we have agricola est poeta, nauta est poeta, est nauta. And you gotta translate, and you learn you learn that est means he is. So you learn that est poeta, I'm assuming poeta is poet, means he is a poet. And poeta est means still the same thing. He is a poet. So you're learning about that. And then it gets more and more. You add more and more words, and it adds more and more. If anybody wants a flip through, I probably will do one, but let me know, and I'll get to it sooner. And then just so you can see the keep going with Latin, it's a continuation and is a lot more involved. There's my cat trying to escape out the door again, scratching at the door. So it even says, Getting Started with Latin, beginning Latin for homeschoolers and self-taught students of any age. So I'm super excited. She's super excited. And I figured we could add Latin Duolingo in after a month or so, after she's gotten the basis or whatever, as needed, or just when she wants to. All right, Mythology is homemade. Feel a sneeze coming on. My goodness, sorry about that. Okay, so we decided on which of the mythologies we want to learn. We put them in each week. I have miscellaneous weeks and catch-up weeks. And also we're going to use Crash Course Mythology, as well as keeping tracks of any books that she reads from the library. I do want to have her write her own myth at some point. That's definitely going to be cool. I have a book that I got, an ebook for free online, that has an good intro, and also has something she can look up. So if she's studying and she wants to do she wants to do Thor or whatever, she can look it up in the book and it gives her information. And I also have, where is it? I already owned this really old book, the Book of Myths. You can see it's even stained and stuff. It was like that. This used to be my father-in-law's. I don't know how long ago he got it or whatever. It's like falling apart. It is from, where's the date? Sorry, trying to be careful here. It is from 1942, so it's not like, really old, but like that's older to me. I do have an older book from the 1800s, but this is, old enough anyway. And so it has different mythological stories. Myths of the Greek and Romans, myths of the Norsemen, North American Indians. This is an old book, but they call them Indians. Mexico and Peru, Egyptians, Babylonians, Hindus, Japanese, Chinese, and Australians. So I don't specifically know if we're going to read the whole book or anything, but I do have this if it becomes useful. Alright, did that, did those. Oh, I forgot to show Creation Crate also came with a pocket microscope and some pH test paper. And, look at that, I forgot to show that. Okay, almost done, I think. Let's see here. All I've left is Spanish and ASL. Okay, so she's doing, yes, so if you're keeping track, if you count English, she's doing English, French, Latin, Spanish, and ASL. But Spanish and ASL we're using as half credits, so she's doing both of them together. So for Spanish, I had originally ordered, and I showed in one of my haul videos, this Carson de Losa Spanish 2, only to find out it's itty bitty. So we're going to use this. We may also use Easy Peasy Online School Spanish 1, which she did a few days of last year just to try out. If she enjoyed it, I'm not sure. I gotta check with her. And then I also have, like I said, the Easy French Step by Step. I do have the Spanish book, so we can use things from there. Free resources. I'm not too worried. I know a bit of Spanish, so I think we'll do just fine with that. And then for ASL, I contacted startasl.com, and they were nice enough to give me a 6-month subscription to their website. So for the next 6 months, even though school doesn't start till September for us, she's starting ASL now, so she can take advantage of the full 6 months. With their website, they had for free you can do their lessons, but with the paid subscription you get much more. I'm going to do a video all about that, and I'll share more about what is included in that. But they do have ASL 1, 2, and 3. So if she goes in ASL 1 and it's stuff she already knows because she's been doing ASL for years, she can skip into ASL 2 or ASL 3 or like later in ASL 1 or whatever to figure out where she's at and study that. So that's plenty. She doesn't need anything else other than practicing, showing us some things and practicing. It'd be nice if she could practice with somebody who can do ASL, but I don't think I might know somebody. I have to find out if there's somebody that I know that can practice with her. But I believe that Start ASL has a community that she can, like a meetup that she can go to and practice with people too. So we'll look into that. So yeah, that is her curriculum picks for the coming 2022-2023, I think, year for my rising 10th grader. This is my first curriculum video, so if it was a little rough around the edges, I'm sorry about that. If you like more curriculum videos or you want to see flip-throughs of reviews of the resources that I mentioned, the ones that I mentioned are already coming up, then just make sure you subscribe, and if you would like to like the video, that would be awesome too. Shows other people that it's worth watching. And yeah, if there's something I said, like, are you interested in, please let me know if there's anything you want me to do a flip through of, so I know. But that's it for now, I guess. So yeah, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.